Guys, this is like my 6th or 7th try of this. I had some problems making the video. Okay, so if I sound like I've done talked a whole bunch, that's why. I'm gonna get better at this. Oh, the light. Y'all, I saw a video yesterday on YouTube saying what to do for lighting for your, now I don't have one of those ring lights, but I did find this. You see this thing here? Look at it. It's bright. So I thought that looks like a ring light, you know, the white. But look at this. Not happening. Like, that's just ridiculous. Okay. Let me try this again. Okay. Hello, my name is Sheena, and I've started a community right here on YouTube for people with systemic, institutional, and injustice trauma. Or if you want to know more about it, or if you have a family member or friend. Now you can't see me at all. I don't know how to edit, so I apologize. Well, I was gonna tell one of my stories, but honestly, I've recorded saying it so many times by now. I'm gonna really shorten this one up, and I'm just gonna say I was kidnapped, raped, I defended myself with a knife, jumped, and I had to play dead because that's the only way I could live. You know. So I'm trying to fix the light. I don't know how to do this, y'all. Anyway, okay, so my whole point of this video was because a lot of times we're told things that make us not want to tell our stories, like be grateful. It happens to everybody. It could have been a lot worse. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Actually, no, I'll keep going this way and then I'll circle back. And those things are okay. Like, being told those things are good. But it also keeps us quiet. And I feel like if we are comfortable in telling our stories, and be careful who you tell them to. Like, I had to learn that the hard way. A lot of people can't handle this kind of stuff, you know. But those things that we're told, it keeps us quiet. And I feel like if we remain quiet, no change is going to happen. Because even in the support groups, have you ever noticed that, like, when you start talking about making change and justice, you're kind of talked out of it. And I get that they want us to, you know, feel comfortable and safe and not cause any more trouble to ourselves than it's already come to us. But it gets to the point where, yeah, at the beginning, that's good. You don't want to try to take on too much. But comes a time where you start hearing that this is happening to so many people. And for me, by the time this happened, this was my 6th situation in the town I grew up in that was really bad, that should have had something done about it. So I want to say, I'm going to get better at this, I promise. So some things, so the detective calls me. Also, I end up getting, you know, having the cops come, within minutes of surviving. Nobody wanted to help me. I was all bloody, beat up, looked a mess. But then the cops show up. I go to the hospital, rape kit test comes back positive. They get all of the evidence they could need, handprints. They messed up my ribs, had a concussion. And the detective calls me a couple days later. At this time, I'm happy to be alive. He's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm with my son, and overall pretty good considering the circumstances. And he was asking me some really strange questions, like who is your mom? What does she do for a living? Who is your dad? What does he do for a living? And told him who my mom was. And asked me, where did I go to school? What sports did I play? What church did I go to? And then said he was going to call me in a couple weeks. So I never heard from him. And about a month later, I finally called him back, and he acts like he doesn't know who I am. And he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do your case. And I just had that feeling, you know what? If you know what I'm talking about, it's like, whoosh. And I got upset. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what the heck? And then he tried to threaten me and say I could get in trouble for trying to defend myself. So I guess that was scary until I learned he lied. But by then the damage was done. Fast forward several years later, I'm already moved out of this town where they just hurt me over and over and over again. And I heard on the radio on NPR some guy saying, oh, my team found that, he was talking about the county I grew up in, allows these things to happen to people with no reason to not take it to court. He says that some of these stories with the evidence is just absolutely horrific. And I was like, wow, so it wasn't just me all those times, you know. So yeah, they're corrupt, and gosh, I'm tired. But I think it's important to tell your stories. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you what I used to say to myself during this situation to just kind of make sense of it all. I would say stuff like, well, maybe he doesn't know this is the 6th time that people have been able to just do whatever they want to me and get away with it in this town. And I was thinking, I need to call him and tell him that this is like a theme, you know, a theme for me here. And maybe he'll be like, oh no, like we should do something. We can't keep letting people get away with this. I don't know why I thought that. I also thought, well, maybe it's because I'm poor, you know, and I didn't play sports with y'all, you know, your kids, or was a member in your church or your friend's church or anything. And I also would tell myself, like, oh, I probably deserved it. Like, this is what God's saying. Like, this is what I get from trying to make new friends, you know. You know, we tell ourselves all kinds of things, like, to justify, make sense of why this is happening. And that's okay. It's like a survival thing, right? But yeah, if you ever feel comfortable and want to share something from your story, your situations, and what you've been through, I promise again, I don't know how many times I said this, but I'm going to get better at this. I'll learn how to edit. I'll have my thoughts more, not all over the place. I don't talk like this when I'm just hanging out with someone, or maybe I do. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I want to tell you guys something I did last night before I went to bed. I wrote a letter to my physical body, and then I wrote 10 things that I'm grateful for. My handwriting is bad, but 10 things I'm grateful for about my physical body. And if you're ever struggling with self-esteem, self-worth, starting small and doing things like that can be really beneficial. You don't have to say like, oh, I'm grateful for each freckle on my face or anything, but oh gosh. Anyways, you know what? I'm done. Have a good day, and I'm grateful for everyone here. Thanks. Bye.